If you're a treasure hunter like me, nothing gives you quite that rush than having a great discovery or a nice find. Whether it's a silver coin collection dump, whether it's panning for gold and getting a nice gold pocket, or perhaps even finding a gold coin, or maybe you just found some nice silver coins that you sent off for submission after paying a good price on them and got great grades. Who knows? Either way, in today's video, we're going to talk about some of my best finds. Hey everyone, it's Rob Finds Treasure. Welcome back to the channel. Figured I would try something a little different today. I get asked a lot of times in the comment section of my videos, what are some of your better finds? Most of my better finds I have videos on, but figured I'd kind of put together a little bit of a hit list of some of my top finds, from nice collection dumps to finding gold, maybe a couple of submissions or numismatic purchases that turned out just fine. We'll have to see. Either way, hopefully you guys enjoy this type of video, and also we'll have a message from the sponsor towards the end of the video. All right, let's get on with some of my best discoveries. First and foremost, we would be remiss not to talk about my best silver collection dump in the history of my channel. Now, obviously, any video I talk about or show in this video, I'll have links to those down below in the video description. Let's take a look at my best collection dump of silver coins. Holy cow. Talk about my lucky day. We bought $780 worth of half dollars, which comes out to $1,560 half dollars in total. At 50 cents each, I paid $780. For the 40% half dollars, we had 1,240 of them, and at today's melt value, that comes out to $3,278.97. And then we had 320 of the 90% 64 Kennedys, and their value for just melt was $2,069.48. Total value of silver melt on this table that we picked up from the bank is $5,348.45, but I need to subtract the $780 that I paid for it, which comes out to a profit, a bank score profit of $4,568.45. As you can see, that was my lucky day. It actually came out to $7,760 if you looked at today's melt value of those exact same coins minus what I paid for them. Can't get mad at that. Now, that was my best silver score from a collection dump. Obviously, you guys didn't know me prior to 2017, so a lot of the gold nuggets I found in California, you guys have not seen me have a YouTube channel showing how I prospected for those. But I did find some gold over the pond in England, and for those that might have missed that metal detecting video, let's go to that and see when I found this 2,000 plus year old Celtic Canoblian gold quarter stater pulled out of the ground. Let's take a peek.
You're gonna hear me say, oh my gosh, over and over again. Rob finds treasure, and by golly, he does. He doesn't even know what he's got yet.
You picked it up before I could look at it.
He had it in his hand, and I snatched it, and I thought it was something else. Rob, do you know what you just did?
I don't know, but it was pretty flashy.
Welcome to the Pony Club, buddy.
What is it?
Welcome. Let me show it on video real quick. Wipe it off.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome.
Oh my
goodness. That is a quarter Celtic gold stater.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Holy
smokes. He got the signal. I said, I'll tell you what it is. We thought it was going to be a button.
Yeah, I thought it was a button for sure.
Oh my goodness gracious.
That's awesome.
Buddy, congratulations. How you like England?
I'm loving it.
Find of a lifetime, buddy. Good job.
Thank you, brother. As you can see by the video, sorry for the low quality, but Plugmaster Ford was recording me as I was pulling this out of the ground. Man, plan on getting it graded with NGC on their Ancients. I haven't sent it in yet, and as many of you know, I got ill back in November of last year, and I'm still trying to recover from that. But either way, pretty exciting find. Like Plugmaster said in the video, find of a lifetime. Now, I have had other finds of a lifetime, whether they are rolls of Walking Liberty half dollars that way back in the day I purchased for $35 a coin and then sold many of them and then went on to PCGS and submitted them and got 65 and 66s on them. Crazy how well I've done on a lot of the numismatic coins I purchased over the years. You've seen a lot of my PCGS submission videos. I'll have a playlist for that down below. We've got some high-grade Morgans that I purchased at way back in the day, $50 per BU Morgan. Can't get mad at those. As well as some numismatic rarities. I have found an 09S VDB and a customer wrap roll. I have found varieties and airs. This particular one I won on a auction lot, but I wanted to point it out because it is a numismatic rarity. That being said, the reason why I did this video today was not only just to show you some of my best discoveries, but also to talk about another potential discovery, and that leads me to today's sponsor, RUA Gold. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Rob, how are you going to talk about discoveries you've made either in the ground or in the rolls and compare it to maybe a mining stock company who's today's sponsor? And I would say to you, that's a great question. Let me go ahead and tell you about a few things as to why I believe RUA Gold is a pretty good discovery. Now, before I get into the information regarding RUA Gold, I do want to make the disclaimer that I am not a financial advisor. All of the information I'm providing you guys is for entertainment and informational purposes only. Obviously, you should do your own due diligence if you choose to invest in any stock, such as the one who's sponsoring today, RUA Gold. And obviously, you should only invest with money that you have that you could potentially lose whenever you do any investments. That being said, let me move on now and discuss some of the reasons why I believe RUA Gold could be a really good discovery. So for sake of time, I'm just going to cover some highlights here about RUA Gold. First and foremost, the things I want to focus on is the location and the history behind New Zealand's gold. Obviously, New Zealand has a long history of high-grade gold discoveries dating back to the 1860s. That means over 150 years of history, high-grade gold discoveries in New Zealand. RUA Gold happens to be in the historic mining area, which is a very safe Tier 1 jurisdiction, and the new pro-mining government. What does that mean? That means in New Zealand, for a lot of years, they've been more about preservation of their resources and their environment. And since post-2020, with the election of the new prime minister, they've actually turned towards, hey, we've got these resources. Let's get them out of the ground. Let's make some money. So, a lot of history with gold there. Great location. And we'll discuss more about their high-grade orogenic and epithermal gold targets in a moment. But I want to get onto the world-class team now that we know the location and the history is rich in gold. So here's the management and the board of directors for RUA Gold. I'm really only going to be focusing on two people, the CEO, Robert Eckford, and the COO, Simon Henderson. First and foremost, the CEO, Robert Eckford, he's got experience in mining across Australia, Africa, and South America. But what caught my eye with him was that he actually left a pretty much set up for life job with a gold producer who paid well to lead RUA Gold. And since he came to RUA Gold, he said this in his own words, and I quote, "I see the potential to create approximately $700 million in shareholder value and a clear path to it." And to put it in perspective, RUA Gold's only about a 40 million Canadian cap as of right now for a market cap. Crazy. So next up is the COO, Simon Henderson. And Simon, he's basically the guy that finds the gold and gets the gold. And he's had a history of doing that. Matter of fact, he used to work for Newmont, another gold company, and he had a lot of huge gold discoveries, so much so that they sold them to a huge company called Oceana. And I'm going to go into all the specifics on that. But if I scroll down really fast to where that slide is, and it's right here, he staked a lot of these claims and sold them to Oceana. And Oceana recently found a humongous gold deposit or gold discovery right here, which is only less than 3 kilometers from one of the properties that RUA Gold is managing at Glenmorgan. So bottom line, and I'll scroll back up to Simon, he's the guy that finds the gold. He has been finding the gold. He's a specialist in orogenic and epithermal gold systems, which is the two types of properties that RUA Gold is focusing on. And on top of that, he has a long history and strong relationships in New Zealand's gold discoveries and gold areas with the stakeholders. Can't get mad at that. All right, so now that we know that we have a company, RUA Gold, who has a location in a very safe mining jurisdiction with a new pro-mining government in a country who has a history in high-grade gold discoveries, who's assembled a world-class team capable of going out and getting the gold like we've seen, and a CEO is saying, hey, I left my last job, I know we're gonna get it, let's go get it, and by the way, let's take a quicker, deeper dive at that high-grade orogenic and epithermal gold targets that they currently have. So stuff can get pretty technical here, and I'm gonna keep this simple. The average global production is about 1.18 grams of gold per ton. And right now, the two properties that you can see down here, Reefton and Glamorgan, historical production for Reefton has been 2 million ounces of grading of 24.5 grams per ton of gold. And Glamorgan has been throwing off the charts here. You can see the depths and you can see the different grams per ton. Bottom line is both their properties are destroying the average global grade of grams per ton. Crazy. Of all the companies in the first world high-grade explorer group, companies that are targeting at least 10 grams per ton of gold with evidence of greater than 15 grams per ton of gold, RUA is the least valued. You can see them right here in the yellow. They are the least valued as far as market cap goes. So there's a lot of room for growth. They've got the properties that show that the gold is in the ground. It just needs to get gotten. And as you'll see in the next slides, they're ready to go ahead and get moving on this stuff. So for sake of time and not getting, again, too technical, historic mines were limited by the technology of the time. They had major potential to expand along strike and at depth. I didn't cover those charts, but a copy of RUA's investor PowerPoint that I'm using here is available on their website. I'll have that website and more information about RUA Gold listed down below in the video description. So really quickly, in summary, we've got a world-class team in a safe tier 1 jurisdiction with a new pro-mining government in a country who has a long history of high-grade gold discoveries. They have found some high-grade gold discoveries that are in grades of 16 to 50 grams per ton, which we've already seen the global production average is about 1.18 grams per ton. They have the technology to mine the stuff, and now drilling is ramping up and is going. So, with all that being said, you got to ask yourself, is RUA Gold the right discovery for my portfolio? Well, I think it's going to wrap up today's video. You guys, I want to thank you all in advance for taking this time to go ahead and not only spend some time with me and finding out some of my better discoveries in the beginning of the video, but also to hang with me when I've done this sponsorship for what I consider a pretty good discovery of a newer company called RUA Gold. And as you saw by the slides, could be somebody you want to add to your portfolio. That being said, I've said it before and I'll say it again. You got to definitely do your due diligence. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just providing information that was disseminated on behalf of RUA Gold. And on top of that, all of the information from today's video, as well as additional resources, are linked down below. You can have access to their website, of course, their investor relations PowerPoint presentation, as well as any other information you might need. Again, I want to thank everyone for their time today. Hopefully you had fun. If you did, I certainly would appreciate that thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting and thanks for watching.